Minister Crawley.
Sir Edward, it's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship, and I would like to congratulate the Honourable Member for the Cities of London and Westminster for securing this incredibly important debate and for all of her work in Parliament on the Fertility Treatment Employment Rights Bill. I wish her every success with her second reading of the bill. I welcome the Bays Minister to her place, and I hope that we will continue to have fruitful discussions on, among many issues, my bill on miscarriage leave, which I will undoubtedly continue to lobby her on. Now, we've heard from many people across the Chamber today about National Fertility Awareness Week, and therefore I am very grateful that we're having this debate. We've heard from the Honourable Member for Strangford, as always, on his passionate conveyance of his constituents, the Honourable Member for Romsey and Southampton, and the importance of changes to workplace cultures, and the reflection of modern families and the different routes to parenthood. But, Chair, currently in the UK, there are around 3.5 million people who, as we have heard, experience fertility treatment for several reasons, but although most commonly issues of infertility. However, an increasing number of same-sex couples are undergoing treatment to start their own families, as well as a growing number of individuals opting to preserve their fertility are among the reasons that many are undergoing treatment. Now, while advances in assisted fertility have allowed many more families who are unable to conceive without assistance through donor sperm or egg donation to opt for treatments such as IVF, IUI, as well as surrogacy, sadly, this issue continues to be shrouded in secrecy and an element of stigma. As we have heard, for those who have that lived experience, they do not appear to have a voice in this process. That means that millions of UK citizens are facing the prospect of fertility treatment alone and in silence. And as we have already heard, there is no specific rights within the UK law to protect those who need time off. Now, no doubt the Minister will give the same response. I hope she won't, but she may. That I have repeatedly raised on several occasions regarding my own bill to introduce paid miscarriage leave for couples experiencing pregnancy loss before 24 weeks, but I will once more take this opportunity to remind her that the introduction of an employment bill would have addressed many of these issues of guaranteed rights for workers, and it's unfair that any employee should have to take annual leave for medical-related appointments or even to take time off the process of what is an already arduous process. Fertility treatment is undoubtedly one of the most challenging experiences that a couple can undertake. It's precarious, unpredictable and uncertain. Trying to plan for hormone cycles, for treatment, for blood appointments, nothing can prepare you for what you will go through, and the time that you will need from your employer can change and can be fairly unpredictable, which is why it's essential that we have an understanding of the impact and the emotional impact that infertility can have. Cannot be underestimated. It can be both traumatic and emotionally draining. It can be arduous and long. It can take months, it can take years. And for couples who have continued to go through that process, it can result in many unsuccessful attempts. Until you've gone through it yourself, you will never fully appreciate how challenging it is. I just want to end with testimony from a couple who wrote to me to say our plan was to grow our family. We saved, we planned for fertility. We didn't plan for a global pandemic, cancelled treatment cycles. We didn't anticipate how long our treatment would take and the possibility that it may not work. Thankfully, after several failed embryo transfers, we're now beginning to feel the excitement of being 16 weeks pregnant. But the journey steamrolls ahead, and it's hard to stop and reflect on the pains and the heartaches that came with this. It's surrendering control to that little life when it decides to join us, and it's nothing short of a lesson in patience and gratitude. The reality is nothing can prepare you for fertility treatment, so I'm asking the Minister today, will she commit to signal to those undergoing fertility treatment and commit to bringing forward statutory rights for workers through the fertility treatment in law? And will she, hopefully, commit to the introduction of an employment law bill, which we have long awaited over successive parliaments? It's high time the government took action to bring the employment law up to date in this country. Be it fertility, miscarriage leave or enacting the Taylor Review, I urge the Minister to act now and introduce leave for so many couples who need work.